Good morning, everybody. It's time for day 18. We are getting so close to the 3 week mark. And what's funny is I was just thinking that a lot of change your habits programs happen to be 21 days because they say it takes that amount of time to kind of get a new habit ingrained for it to become more natural. And so we're getting close to that point. If you have stuck with us that long, I would love to hear how your experience is going. As I've mentioned increasingly in the videos, I have been feeling, I feel like this is just becoming a natural part of my day, and I look forward to it. I look forward to experimenting and exploring and continuing to activate the space to see what might be birthed in my art, in my life in general, what new possibilities might arise. And I'm not doing this with an expectation, right? I'm not attached to results. If something huge and earth-shattering doesn't happen at the end of this 30 days, I'm not going to, go cry in my room or anything like that. And I'm aware of the energetics. I'm aware of what a process like this does when we are accessing our creativity and our intuition and giving ourselves the space to allow them to play together. Who knows what might happen? So I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going. And today's unkempt pile of supplies. I still had the supplies out from yesterday. It's a good thing it didn't rain out here on the porch. I've got the gesso, I've got some markers and brushes, and some tape. I felt compelled to bring the tape, so I brought that out as well. Opened to this spread, and I'm pulling out my tape. One thing if you're using tape right off the roll is you might want to press it. I press it against my skin or against my clothes so that when I lift it up, it's not going to totally rip the paper, hopefully. So just unroll it. And I'm just leaving it on the roll and I'm pressing it, which you're not seeing because I'm off camera. I'm pressing it on my clothes a few times. Just to get that extra tack off. So we'll do this. And this is just, this is not planned. The tape I just had a nudge to pull out of the drawer. So we will see what happens here. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a marker. I got an alcohol marker. I really have no idea, as I usually don't, what's coming next. And for me, that is a lot of the fun when I let myself get into it, when I'm not, trying to produce something for a certain goal. Mermaid marker, kind of dry brushing a little bit. I don't have too much ink on there, so I'm going to try and get a little more ink out since I am brushing that across. And then I've got an Eco Line marker. And let's see, now I want to bring this other marker in. Just make some more marks. And something that has been coming up for me the last day or so in a program that I'm participating in is the idea of loving what we love, valuing what we value. And having had others I know for me, tell me what is and isn't appropriate to value, what my values should be, and with those shoulds being disguised as, quote, responsibility, it can get seductive to say, okay, I can't really want what I really want. I can't take the chance in case this fails and in case someone else sees me as foolish or irresponsible, etc. And so it really brought me back to times where, even as bold as I feel like I've been, I have modulated myself. I have modulated, who I am and what I want to experience for, I don't want to say necessarily approval, but kind of that whole like good girl thing, like to be a good person, to be a good girl, I guess. This is a paint pen, which is kind of running out. So the dots that I've been making the last few days are really more intuitive, right? If things happen for a reason, or if we always have the raw materials to create what we need to create, then not a bad thing, but just funny to me to realize that this is just the way that it's come about to use them. I do use dots in a lot of my work, but in this case it's not. I'm not doing it so that it will be a signature of my work. I'm just kind of letting it evolve. So paint pen. What else am I feeling like using? I'm feeling like using some of this paint. So this was acrylic paint, to which I added something called Flow Aid and some water. So it makes it kind of a paint pen consistency, which I really like. I'm just using this brush, which is not an acrylic brush, but it's also kind of a cheap brush. So I'm feeling like I just want to dab that around and see what happens. I feel like I want to get a little bit more paint on there. I'm really enjoying that. These cool little marks, they're kind of fanciful and fun. And again, I'm just dabbing this around. I'm not loading it up too much because I'm feeling inclined towards the stamping effect as opposed to something else. And that feels good, so I'm going to rinse that off. Now I'm feeling drawn to, so I've got some more of this paint, and I'm feeling like I want to make some stamps, some circle stamps. So I'm just pouring some of this. This is also acrylic paint with water and Flow Aid. I'm just pouring it. This is just the the container for that water-soluble graphite that I picked up the other day. And I'm feeling like, what size do I want to use? I feel like I want to use this size. So I'm literally just using the cap of a marker and dipping it in the paint. And that ended up making quite a interesting. That's not at all what I was expecting. How cool is that? I'm just popping the bubbles as they are created. It's interesting to me because when I look at the cap, it looks completely open, and then when I put it on the paper, it gets these bubbles in the center. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. And that's a cool effect that I wasn't even trying for, which is fun to me. Just more play. But anyway, the idea of wanting what we want. I don't think it's a huge secret that I would love to be a well-known artist, not for the notoriety, but I would love for my art to support me financially. I think that's a dream of a lot of people. You know, I haven't really believed that that was possible because things hadn't /haven't, I guess, shown up. And so I've been afraid to tell people too that, you know, that is something that I would really, really love, and that I had kind of begun to assume isn't possible. So it's a matter of, you know, but then I'm not really telling the truth, right? If people ask me about my goals and, you know, what's going on and what I'm hoping to create, and I don't talk about that anymore because it seemed pretty proven that that's not going to happen, then I'm not being completely honest, right? So it's an interesting, something to consider, you know, where you are not allowing yourself to have your dreams, where you aren't telling the truth about your dreams or owning them, and where you're afraid that you're going to be judged because of what you really, 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 really want. So this is actually feeling pretty complete to me. I'm feeling into, if I want to add some Stabilo Pastel, feeling like this blue, I might add a little bit. Where do I want to add it? Kind of up in here, maybe. So yeah, where are you not allowing yourself to express, to admit and express what you would love in your heart? What are you afraid that if you express it, it's going to sound silly or be judged or criticized? And where are you allowing the possibility of someone else's judgment or criticism to tamp down your voice? Where are you allowing that to happen? And not that you have to change it, but what might change if you did, if we did start to admit openly what we would love, truly, truly, truly love. So yeah, add some of this in there. And feeling like this. And that is feeling just about complete. Now for the big reveal. We peel off the tape. Oh no, oh no. That's peeling up a little bit of the paper. I thought I got most of the tack out of it, but I guess not. Let's see what happens here. And let's see what happens here. And there we go. Here we go, here we go. This is our beautiful spread. It's definitely still drying. The acrylic is still drying. But just noticing the different textures. All from just kind of scribbling. Scribbling on top of marks and making more marks. Scribbling on top of marks. Get you in to see that textures. And bring you back up over top. And with that, we are done with day 18, well on our way to day 21 and beyond. So who knows what might happen. And that is the fun and the excitement and the mystery that you'll have to keep participating to find the answer to.